Fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 early games post-game show and Browns and Chargers post-game show as well. Well, the Browns lost to the LA Chargers 34-14 at home at First Energy Stadium. This game today for the Browns was a nightmare. Baker Mayfield threw 2 interceptions, got sacked 3 times, and the Browns defense did not give Mayfield any protection whatsoever on this field. I mean, this game was just a nightmare of a game today, and the nightmare is just, ugh. The Chargers jumped out to the early 7-0 lead in the first quarter, and the nightmares for the Browns were just beginning. Greg Joseph, though, he kicked a field goal from 18 yards out, and it was 7-3 Chargers at the end of the first quarter. Now, in the second quarter, the Chargers then scored another touchdown thanks to Phillip Rivers finding Tyrell Williams open, and he took the ball 45 yards into the end zone, and it was 14-3 Chargers in the second. Then Greg Joseph kicked yet another field goal, and it was from 59 yards out, and it was 14-6 Chargers. But the Browns' nightmares just rolled on. Then the Chargers scored another TD on a Browns turnover, and the Browns turned the ball over 7 times today. Not good, boys. And Tyrell Williams took the ball for 29 yards, and it was a 21-6 Chargers lead at halftime. And in the third, the Browns' nightmares just got worse as Mayfield threw in this is his first one of 2 interception passes, and it was intercepted by Melvin Gordon, who took the ball 4 yards, and it was 28-6 Chargers lead in the third. And the Browns just kept having things just get more worse. The Chargers scored yet another TD thanks to Melvin Gordon, who ran the ball 11 yards into the end zone, and it was 35-6 Chargers at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth, well, the Browns scored their first and only touchdown of the game today, and Baker Mayfield found David Njoku open, and he ran the ball into the end zone for a 1-yard Browns touchdown, and it was 35-14 Chargers fourth quarter. Then the Browns' nightmares got even more worse because Baker Mayfield threw his second interception of the game, and it was intercepted by Ty Williams, but they could not get in the scoring range, and the Chargers had to settle for a field goal, and it was from 9 yards out by Mike Bagley, and it was 38-14 Chargers lead in the fourth quarter. And in the final 2 minutes, the Browns turned over the ball. They tried to make a play, and they turned over the ball again, and the Chargers had the ball at the Browns' 20-yard line. They made one more play, and then were able to just run out the clock, and the Chargers get the win, 38-14. The Chargers go to 4-2, and the Browns go to 2-3-1 on the season. As I said, the Browns game today was just basically a nightmare for the Browns. Baker Mayfield, as our greatest performance, he gets an F. He threw 2 interceptions. They turned the ball over way too many times, and he had no protection, got sacked 3 times, and he just kept having kept having problems all day. And, I mean, what happened, boys? I mean, what was going on? What, are you guys out of your mind? I mean, what the hell was going on with you guys today? Pardon my French. And you guys just could not hit the broadside of a barn. And the turnovers, that's what cost you to not get the win. And you guys barely even scored. You only scored 1 touchdown in the game today. So you guys they're gonna have to look at their mistakes, and they're gonna have to really study the Bucs hard. They're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next week at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. This is a road game, And I feel this game is going to be a must-win for the Browns because the Steelers did win today. And I'll get to the early games in just a sec. But the Steelers did win today in Cincinnati, and they are 3-2-1. So I feel this game is a must-win for the Browns next week because they need to go to 3-3-1. They need to steal a win on the road. So, and it has to not go to overtime. So I feel the Browns really need to win this game against Tampa Bay next week. But they need to study their opponents. They need to correct their mistakes. No turnovers, no penalties, no fumbles, no interceptions whatsoever. You've got to score. You've got to keep Tampa Bay from scoring and keep the quarterback on his you-know-what. That's what I'm saying. So really study them, boys. Study the Bucs hard. Now, Baker Mayfield was 22 of 46 carries and attempts, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. David Njoku was 2 carries, 55 yards, 1 TD. He scored the Browns' only touchdown of the game, For the Chargers, Phillip Rivers, 11 of 20, 207 yards, and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And Baker Mayfield had 1 touchdown pass and 2 interceptions. I failed to mention that. Now for the Chargers, 11 of 20 for Phil Rivers. I said 11 of 20, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Melvin Gordon, 18 carries, 132 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Tyrell Williams, 3 carries, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So I have to give the game ball to where credit is due, and that is to not only Phil Rivers, the quarterback, but I got to give it to Melvin Gordon for scoring 3 touchdowns, 132 yards, and to Tyrell Williams, 182 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And I am going to give a game ball to David Njoku, to Browns wide receiver David Njoku, and because he scored the only Browns touchdown of the game, and he did go 55 yards. So the Browns wide receiver David Njoku, you get a game ball. And hopefully, boys, I feel Tampa Bay next week, you must win that game. That is a must win, I feel. All right, now getting to the early game scores right now. I'm going to do the early game scores from earlier today. I already said the Browns beat the Chargers beat the Browns, 38-14. The Atlanta Falcons did beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so Tampa Bay lost today to Atlanta, 34-29, and hopefully this Tampa Bay's got to have hopefully we play them next week, and that's a must win. You got to beat Tampa Bay Browns, and that was at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. The Jets beat the Colts in a whale of a battle, 42-34. Boy, Sam Darnold just had a heck of a day. The Washington Redskins beat the Carolina Panthers 23-17 at FedEx Field in Washington. And Washington this was a great game between the Panthers and Washington. And Carolina just could not come away with the win today. It just did not go their way. The Seattle Seahawks just walloped the Oakland Raiders at Wembley Stadium in London, England, 27-3. The Raiders it was a nightmare game for the Raiders as well today. The Buffalo Bills beat the Houston Texans 23-13 at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. And Buffalo, they just could not get it going. They just could not battle back and win the game. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Arizona Cardinals at US Bank Stadium in Minnesota, or Minneapolis rather, 27-17. And Minnesota, what a day! And and Arizona just could not battle back and win that game. The Chicago Bears lost today to the Miami Dolphins in Miami, 31-28. Oh, I thought Chicago was going to win this game, but Miami just pulled away in the final seconds, and they got the win. And the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Cincinnati Bengals at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, and that was by the final. And Cincinnati had led 21-20, but Steelers came back and scored one last TD and a 2-point conversion, and it was 28-21, and that means the Steelers go to 3-2-1, and the Browns are 2-3-1, which means the Browns and Steelers are no longer tied. The Browns are in last place, but I'm hoping the Steelers can lose next week and the Browns can win, because we could go 2-3-3-1, and the Steelers could be 3-3-1, and we could be back tied with them again. So we got to hope for the Steelers loss and the Browns win next week. Now, the LA Rams are fully underway with the Denver Broncos, and last I heard it was 13-3. The Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans, last I heard, was 7-0. That's fully underway. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're fully underway with the Dallas Cowboys, and it was 10-3 last I heard. And we have the Sunday night football game coming up, and that's going to be the Chiefs and the Patriots, and I feel the Chiefs are going to steal this one on the road in Gillette Stadium at Foxborough, Massachusetts, and win this one. And I'm going to say it's going to be 35-29. I'm going to say that. And Monday Night Football tomorrow night, the San Francisco 49ers will take on the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. And I feel the Packers have the edge in that one. But for tonight's Sunday night game, I feel that I have the view for that after the late games have concluded. Now, I mentioned this. I had to rush mentioning this on my my pregame show this morning, and that episode was that pregame show. That video was my 100th video this morning, and this is my 101st video. But I want to take this opportunity to thank every one of my subscribers and my viewers for watching all these videos, to take this opportunity to thank all of my viewers and subscribers for watching this pregame show of and viewers who have watched my YouTube channel, since I first began Scott Sports 101 back in April. And I hope that you'll all continue to watch my YouTube channel, Scott Sports 101, and that I'll get many more of you to subscribe who have viewed it but not subscribed, and I hope I get a lot more, because it's going to get even better. And I'm planning to put together a special video to commemorate my 100th video entitled The Best Moments from Scott Sports 101. Stay tuned for that, and I'll keep you posted of when that will happen. Now, I want to, getting back to today's Browns game and their nightmare of a game, it just did not go their way. And this game was definitely a nightmare for the Browns. It really, really, really was. So, I just feel Baker Mayfield, you get an F. That's what you got. And David Njoku, I'm going to give you a C+. Because it's only one touchdown, but you scored the Browns touchdown, only touchdown of the game, so I give you a C+. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday Early Games Post-Game Show. I will have the post-game show for the late games and the Sunday Night Football preview after the late games have concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.